Yeah, I can hear you too. I'm not here.
Hello, welcome to this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast, where I'm afraid to say I didn't do this week's assignment and I didn't see Rene Russo's boobs.
I did.
Which I didn't. I missed it. I'm sorry.
I did. Well, you can wait till next week. Spoiler: it's a fucking great movie.
Yes, because the reason I didn't look at Rene Russo's boobs is because Cobra Kai's final season was on, and I only found out Friday evening, and I was like, I must watch, and then I watched 2 episodes, and then so forth and so on, and I just didn't get around to it. So, yeah, it's one of those things. So how are we doing, Keith? What's up? Did you watch Captain America?
No, so I didn't do my assignment. I did watch Crown Affair, and I couldn't bring myself to go. Because it got to Saturday and I was shattered, and I was like, do I bother? And then I was seeing all the reviews, and I went, no. I might go and see it this week. I don't know at this point.
Me neither. It's just I'd rather watch some old film from the 80s in the cinema than go and watch that. And I'm just like, oh, yeah.
We'll talk about Thomas Crown next week, but actually, I really fucking enjoyed that today. I really genuinely, I've seen it once. I was talking to my music. Do you know when I saw it last? I rented it.
You rented it on VHS. Oh, fuck. I know where you rented it from too.
Yeah, you did.
Corner from your parents and the Chinese.
I rented it on VHS, and I'd forgotten. I was like, why have I not watched this again since? I mean, apart from Rene Russo's boobs, it's a fucking great movie.
It's what you call it. It's the end bit, if I remember correctly. It's the bit that made it for me. Is when it gets to that ending where he pulls it off, and you're like, and you made it look like a pitch too. Oh, it's class.
Watch it again, you'll enjoy it. It's fantastic soundtrack. We'll talk about it next week. But Cobra Kai, I'm just a fucking spoiler. I've watched it twice.
You watched it twice?
I fucking loved it.
I loved it too. I loved it too. I got quite emotional in a few scenes here and there, which is quite good.
So we can definitely talk about that.
Oh, we're gonna wax lyrical about that bad boy, because I that's the reason I didn't watch the Thomas Crown Affair.
I did watch The Gorge, which Biff is talking about.
I started watching The Gorge, and then I realised Cobra Kai was on, so I didn't.
So I watched The Gorge. I mean, apparently he's saying I survived The Gorge. See, I have a secret to me. I quite like Miles Teller, and I quite like the girl in this. I mean, funny enough, I also watched The Queen's Gambit again. I've watched a lot this week, but I mean, I have actually been really busy. But I've had stuff on while I've been busy, and I watched The Queen's Gambit, and that was I've forgotten how good that was as well. And she is brilliant in that. So I mean, The Gorge was. We'll talk about it, but it's a streaming movie. It's a streaming movie.
It's a streaming movie. Okay, that's... I know exactly. We used to have direct-to-video, now it's... Or DVD, now it's streaming movie.
It is. They are the new direct-to-video type of movies. So we can talk about that. I did watch Severance, but I think Cobra Kai was the highlight.
Cobra Kai was the highlight. I watched Severance too. There's quite a bit in Severance. It's getting a bit more... Yeah, it's leaning a certain way, isn't it? It really is. So what do we have? We will have... I haven't had that one for a while. Recent reports indicate that John Lithgow is in final negotiations to portray Professor Albus Dumbledore in HBO's upcoming Harry Potter television series. This series aims to provide a more in-depth adaptation of J.K. Rowling's 7-book saga, with each season dedicated to one book. Lithgow, a seasoned actor known for his role in The Crown, Third Rock from the Sun, would follow in the footsteps of Richard Harris and Michael Gambon, who previously brought the beloved Hogwarts headmaster to life. HBO have acknowledged the speculation, but has stated they will confirm details as deals are finalised. In addition to Lithgow, Papa Lazarou then. Papa Ezdudu is also reported to be considered for the role of Severus Snape. Why? In the series expected to premiere 2026 with Francesca Gardner serving as the showrunner and Mark Milloyd directing multiple episodes. I think Lithgow would make a great Cornelius Fudge.
I mean, when I first saw this on Facebook, I thought it was fake news, right? Because, look, don't get me wrong, I think John Lithgow is probably one of the best versions of Churchill I have ever seen. Yeah, I mean, his Churchill was phenomenal in The Crown. I mean, I knew it was John Lithgow, but it wasn't, if you know what I mean. You know, I did not see this American bad guy from the Santa Claus movie, because that's why I first saw him. As Churchill, I saw Churchill on screen. I absolutely believe he can play Dumbledore. I still don't buy it. And I mean this with utter respect, right? The guy's 79 now, right? When this goes to screen, he's going to be 80. This is meant to go on for 10 years. He is going to be 90 when this ends. Now, in the nicest possible way, he might be really, really healthy, but I would cast somebody 10 years younger, just to be sure. Yeah.
He can, right, you're right. He completely can do the part. There's no two ways about it. He can clearly do the part. If he was in it, I don't think I've got any complaints, unlike the guy they picked for fucking Severus Snape. Because clearly he can pull it off. So,
yeah. The news is still saying, and dear, if anybody is watching this, HBO, whoever you are, stop calling it a faithful adaptation. Because if you're cast this guy Severus Snape, it is not faithful. No, it's not racist to say that. It's not faithful. The character is white in the book. This is not racism. Because I know people, the minute you say this, you know, these idiots on the internet say, oh, you're racist. No. I think there is room for a more diverse cast. You could put more kids in the class. You can have different coloured faces because that's what a lot of schools are now in Britain, and it should represent that. But Snape, if it's going to be faithful, has to look like Snape is described in the book. Enough said on that. Look, John Lithgow was robbed. He should have won every award out there for his portrayal of Churchill. He was truly brilliant at it. And I think he would make a fantastic Dumbledore. I'm just worried, in the nicest possible way, that he's got to reach the end of the season because I don't want another fucking Dumbledore changing halfway through. That will annoy me. And I mean that respectfully. I mean, I like the idea of him as Dumbledore. I think he could absolutely do it. I think he could be a brilliant Dumbledore, and I think we're all going to love him as it, if it's true. I just hope he survives. Because actually, in the first 5 books, he doesn't do a lot, right? It's in the 6th one that he needs to be all heroic and do all the actually he does a bit in the 5th one as well. So the end of the 5th one and the 6th, he's got to be kind of heroic.
I always said this. I preferred Michael Gambon as Dumbledore. I know you're like, oh, he didn't fit with the books, but storyline wise, you got as I said, you always got the impression that if he couldn't use magic against Voldemort, it would come down to a fist fight and he'd win because he felt a bit tough.
That was never the way he was. Look, that's never how I've pictured him. I get it, I understand it, and it's just not how I pictured him. When I saw that John Lithgow when I actually thought about it, I thought if he puts the quirkiness that he'd put into Churchill into this, yeah, it could work. And put, because he is a character actor, and he is a very good character actor. And I've seen him play those slightly wacky roles, and if he puts some of that and some of the aggression, it could work. He could work as Dumbledore. I'm not going to stand here and say it's bad casting, because I think it's actually bloody good casting. But his age worries me a bit. and I mean that respectfully. I truly do.
Mm.
And actually, it put I still don't I don't believe that they're going to cast what's his face as Snape. If they do, I don't think it'll last.
No, I don't think it'll last either. But on the bright side, that's a big fucking payday for John Lithgow. Yeah, because he probably got a whole season signing, so he probably gets a good 10% of that money up front. That's not bad.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to do much. I mean, he only has to appear in a few episodes each season up until the last season 6. Then he has to be in a lot. Again, that's what concerns me. So, but we'll see.
Okay, all right.
We'll see.
Let's move on to our next story. Hang on a second. Yeah, I think this one will work.
Put a chicken in and make her name it gay!
Amazon Prime have officially renewed Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, for a 3rd season. Pre-production is already underway, with a filming scheduled to commence this spring at Shepton Studios in the UK. Director Charlotte Branston and Sana Hamri, I hope I've said that right, are set to return, joined by newcomer Stefan Schwartz. Branston has also been promoted to executive producer for the upcoming season. Since its debut in 2022, the series has attracted over 170 million viewers worldwide. Didn't do a whole episode, making it one of Amazon Prime's most watched shows. Whilst the premiere date for season 3 has not been announced, the show's success continues to drive new Prime ownership sign-ons. So I'm going to argue that bit there. That's from the Sun. I'm going to argue that the viewership has dropped off. It always drops off for every TV series. It always starts off high and drops off. The exception is Breaking Bad. Yeah, Breaking Bad, the only one where it went the opposite direction, where more people came in and started watching it and binging it and catching up and going that way.
Andor's had word of mouth. Andor's gone up since this initial drop.
I wouldn't say as much. No one's shown any figures.
Breaking Bad.
Disney don't show the figures. Netflix are the only ones who show their figures. They'll sit there and say,
well,
X minutes watched. Is always their metric. Because it doesn't really show, if someone clicked on it accidentally and watched the first minute of it, that still counts as a minute watched.
Well, Disney released The Acolyte thinking that as a kind of puff piece until somebody did the math and realised it was only 8 million viewers for a Star Wars show.
Internationally.
Yeah. By the way, the cartoon, what's his face? Clone Wars got more than that. So they do release minutes. I do not understand this. There's got to be money. This has got to be around money. Somehow someone's making money.
So first things first is Netflix owns Shepton Studios, if I remember correctly. They bought Shepton Studios along with another production company. I can't remember what this other production company is.
But this is a Netflix Prime.
Not. Oh yeah. Then Amazon own the other half of Shepton Studios. Oh great, now I know. So I know that they bought that, and if you've driven past it, which I doubt you've done because you've not been here for a couple of years, it's fucking huge. I've driven past it. It is huge, and it was one of those ones where I need to take a picture. It's fucking gone. It's huge. It's bigger than Line, which I know we've been to Line. We've stood out and gone, show us your Star Wars. Get your Star Wars out for the lads.
See, now that I've got a drone, we could have gone and seen that fucking Millennium Falcon.
You were like kind of. It was. I think we were trying to get into. There was a golf course and there was a car park in the golf course, and we we're going to drive to that golf course and then fly the drone from the thingy because it was literally stone's throw away. But they've moved it to Shepton Studios. They own chunk of Shepton Studios along with Netflix. So I imagine they're probably recouping the costs for the building of the studios by putting that in there. Critically, it's not critically acclaimed. No one claims it anything. It always is at the beginning of the season. It gets to the end of the season, it finishes airing, and everyone goes, "Ah, shit." Twice that's happened, and it'll happen this time too. It'll come out, "Oh, it's fantastic. Get to the end, nah, shit. There's new directors and new producers. That's great. They need writers. That's where the weak part is. Writers. I think the director. I reckon if the directors had some really good material, they could come up with something good. But the material is not very good. And that's where the issue is. If you had some good things, and you could have got very clever with the timelines and what they did with the timelines and stuff. Given everything happens over the course of 1,000 years, you could show like the humans in one time stream, the dwarfs in another time stream, the elves going across all of that, the hobbit-y things. They're having their bit with their time stream and whatnot. And you could have it at one point where you'd expect two characters to meet up. And then you realise, oh no, they're like 800 years in the future, so I'll never meet those people. Yeah, and you could have done some really clever Chris Nolan shit, but no. You had a black dwarf called Deezer. Do you know what her full name is? Deezer nuts are on your chin.
It could have been. I mean, they rushed through the Ring's creation. I mean, the season 2 was so messy. We went from one ring being created to dwarf rings being created to. I mean, they just rushed through it. They pissed all the way through it, and we haven't really seen the human rings create. I mean, it doesn't gel with what Tolkien wrote. It was appalling. It was appalling, and it was. I don't even see how normies like this series. I mean. You know, the actress that plays fucking Guy Ladriel, and I am going to call her that because that's what they make her out to be. And this weird, you know, sexual tension between her and Sauron. What the fuck? I mean, Tolkien would be spinning in his grave over that, right? I mean, she was married by now, right? And you know, she's having this, and the way she bloody well says Sauron, and the way she rolls, I know you're Welsh, love, right? I get it, but Elvish isn't based on that. Stop! It's terrible. I mean, it is genuinely terrible.
Yeah, and it's horrible fan fiction nonsense. Yeah, Sauron is supposed to be the personification of all evil. He's the devil or the Antichrist if you reduce it down. Yeah, if you turn around and say Morgoth is the devil, then Sauron's the Antichrist. Yeah, and it should just be clever and malevolent all the way through. That's what you want. You want someone clever and malevolent, and it's like kind of you look like you beat him. Oh, you fucking didn't. He was planning on that, and if we go back and we rewatch, look, he put these bits in place. Oh, and now you fucked you off. That's what we kind of want, but it's
But it's something that that until now, and I think it is going to change. You've seen it in the last 8 years that the most evil characters, you know, they try to make you sympathise with it, and it does make you think. You know, if they see these characters as nice, I mean, what the hell's going on in Hollywood?
Right, no, Hollywood has no moral compass. They seriously haven't. Did you hear about the film Emily Perez?
Oh yes,
I saw a clip from Emily
Are we
Perez.
talking about the 13 nominations for a goddamn shitty musical
versus the 11 that Return of the King got?
Yeah, right. And the actress who seems to think that the Austrian painter wasn't that bad after all.
Oh yeah, and more importantly, if you're how can I put it? If you're a Mexican warlord who has murdered thousands of people, having a sex change all of a sudden makes you a good person. And there was no accountability or anything done for that, because it would have been made a much more interesting story. They change the gender to escape. Yeah, they get found out. Reckoning happens.
I mean, the talk about how to make yourself irrelevant overnight. The Academy Awards have done this because the movie was panned by critics, and in a very rare occurrence, it was panned by the viewers as well. Please explain to me, people at the Academy Award that make this a nominations, why this got 13 nominations.
It ticked certain boxes. They didn't go for quality. Oh, shock! So
so not only are we, you know, it defies belief. They've made themselves irrelevant. The Oscars are worth nothing now, and I tell you what, not even going to bother discussing them when they happen because they are irrelevant. I say this: Hollywood needs to burn down.
It almost did. It came very close to actually burning down.
I wish it had.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I do.
You know what? It
I
would have
think
been
these
nice.
people are vile.
It would have been nice if all the Californian forest fires missed all the homes and got all the studios.
Yeah.
That would have been so much nicer and would have felt very just and like God was talking to us all. But yeah, you're right. These people, they have no moral compass.
It shocks me how many people don't realize it. And you know, when you lay it out like this, you've got to see it's what's behind it. It's all this fake bullshit. It's all this thing. I mean, you literally, there's a song in there that's so bad it makes me cringe.
Oh,
right?
not just one song, Keith.
No, I'm
There's
talking
not
about the
just
one that, yeah, I know, but...
You're talking
and the
about
other thing, Zoe
the Thailand
Saldana.
one.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Thailand. It just makes me cringe. The Zoe Saldana, they have deliberately made her... What is it with Hollywood taking beautiful women and on purpose making them look dowdy? I mean, they put makeup on her to make her more ugly.
Yeah.
And I mean,
like Zoe
look,
Saldana. She's like a nice
she's a
person.
beautiful woman.
Yes.
And they have deliberately made her look more dowdy in it. What is it with them at the moment? It's run by these people that are just... They need help.
I really regret not finding an Emily Perez story for us to talk about now. Because
Please don't.
I think we've got
that
quite a lot.
song is...
I'll be honest with you. The Mexicans are really, really upset because the guy who filmed it was like, "Oh, we can't do it in Mexican. There's not enough quality people there." And filmed it in France. Biff has just pointed that out. He's French, so yeah, I'm British. You know what we feel. You know how we feel towards the French. I think it's 14-11 wars that we've won against them. And on that note, I think we'll move on to our next story. I was still going to make your blood boil, Keith.
What? What the fuck?
In response to the recent political shifts and external pressures, the Walt Disney Company is scaling back its diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. Notably, the company has discontinued its Reimagine Tomorrow program, which aimed to amplify underrepresented voices and stories. This initiative has been removed from Disney's corporate filings, and its dedicated website has been taken down. In addition to this, Disney is modifying its contents on classic films available on Disney Plus. Previously, movies like Dumbo and Peter Pan featured advisory stating that they included negative depictions or mistreatments of people and cultures. An updated claim is now to read, "This program was presented as it's originally created and contains stereotypes or negative depictions." These changes align with a broader trend amongst major corporations reevaluating their DEI strategies in the light of evolving politics and social landscapes. Companies such as Google, Target, Walmart have also begun scaling back their DEI programs. Internally, some Disney employees have expressed a concern over these rollbacks, viewing them as a retreat from the company's commitment to inclusivity. Critics argue that these actions may be perceived as yielding to political pressures, potentially impacting Disney's public image and employee morale. As Disney navigates this complex environment, it faces challenges of balancing diversity, stakeholder expectations, whilst maintaining its brand values. You're right, it is going to impact public perception. Public perception is going to get better.
Do you know what always makes me laugh, right, about them putting this bloody trigger warning on Dumbo? As a kid, I never saw the crows as black people. You know,
No, they were crows.
I never thought that every black person goes, "I ain't never seen me no elephant fly." Right? I'm sorry.
Don't do that, Keith. That's not with a kid. It was fine. Now it's not. We're adults.
Yeah, I know, but you know what
I know what you mean.
I never made the connection till I was an adult. And that's the innocence of youth, right? And we wouldn't do that now, right? Despite all this crap, we would not do that now. And can't we just view that through the innocence of children? I understand what it means to certain people. I get it. I do. But as a child, that I loved that movie, and I never made that connection. I never made that connection, and I see that as a good thing. I see that, you know, but it has gone. What is happening now? It's by people that hate. This is all hate. This stuff that's going on is hate. You look at it's driven by hate, not by the people that are meant to be the racists, but the people that see themselves as angels. The people that see it boils down because you look at how they react when people disagree with them, and they throw around these words that just have no meaning anymore. And I have never agreed with DUI because I've studied psychology.
DUI is drunk under the
I don't agree with that either.
Influence.
But I've never agreed with it. I recognise that in some quarters that there was certain things happening, but this is not the answer.
Yeah.
We were going in the right direction.
Yeah.
Pre-2016, we were going in the right direction.
2008. I would say 2008.
We were going in the right direction, but these things take time. And you can't force it down people's throats, because as soon as you do, people go the other way. And this is what's happened, right? And people that keep telling me, why do you care about these things? It's only entertainment. Because people need to be entertained. It's a human thing, or we get bored and then we go and do stupid things. And when our entertainment is taken away from us, we tend to do stupid things. You're seeing it happen in America. Literally, right now. And if you don't think this shit is important, this is it. Right? Now, I'm not going to get into the political things, but it is a direct correlation. There is a direct correlation to this. And it is companies like Disney, like them, that are responsible. So when I say it is going to cause bigger and bigger problems, it is. And this is why I get so upset about it, because I see it everywhere. And it is fake. And it is bullshit. And it's about fucking time that they just start making good, honest movies again. Entertain us. Do your jobs.
You know what gets me is the fact that I look at some of the things that they do and they don't sit right with me. So, for example, they will swap out, and I always make the joke, it's the red-headed stepchild will always get swapped out with a black character, yeah? Now, there are stories, fairy tales and bits in Africa right for fucking plumbing to get stuff sorted. If you can harvest all these fantastic stories, yeah? And you can make a Disney property based on an African fairy tale, just like you did with the Grimm's fairy tales, yeah? And it's a perfect opportunity. It's like Moana's a great one, yeah? Polynesian, it's based on a Polynesian thing, apart from Moana dies, yeah? Which they cut out. Which you might do in the next
Disney
one.
have done that before, yeah.
Yeah. But it's they did it with the Ariel Little Mermaid, and it's like, kind of, dude, there are stories there to be used, and I'm interested in seeing them, because you could, if they can do it with the Grimm's fairy tales, if they can do it with the kind of the Moana story and this, that, and the other, if they can do it with the Greek mythology, they can do it there. They can do it with there's Egyptian mythology if you want to do North African stuff, yeah? There is so much there that they could use, but they do not see value in it. And that's the bit that doesn't sit right with me. There is an opportunity there. There's a real opportunity there to make something and entertain people. And you get to have that kind of, hey, we know we brought this African story to the table, or maybe an Indian story, because those guys don't get much coverage, or even, you know, there might be something from China's always a bit touchy. Maybe Japan might be another one that they can do. And I'm sure there's stories that they can use, but they don't. All they do is they make canonically white characters, they turn them black, and they think that's it, job done. Which is fucking insulting. It really is. That is the height of fucking racism. That is.
Yes.
Sorry, your stuff isn't good enough, yeah? You're not good enough for us to write a whole new character for, so we're going to give you a hand-me-down character.
Yes, this is why I
Thanks.
object to this kind of thing. It's fake. This whole thing, this whole casting of Snape, it's bullshit. It's not done for good, wholesome reasons. It's not. And we know it. We can see through this shit. And the trouble is, more and more people are now seeing through this shit. Right? And this is what happens. This divides people. It drives lines down people, which cause more serious problems in the world. And I'm fed up with it. It's funny. I watched a movie. I mean, well, my wife and I watched a movie. It was a silly romantic movie that she wanted to see on Netflix, right? A new one. It was called La Dolce Vita or something. I don't know. Anyway, it's set in Italian, right? And the thing I found interesting was, handsome older white guy with a Latino daughter, right? Not bad on the eye. Not once did they mention the color of her skin, right? Not once did she have a problem with her father falling in love with a beautiful Italian lady with, and she was totally white. But there was not once did I sit there and think, oh, Latino daughter, I never went through my mind, right? Just accepted it, right? Because the movie didn't play on it. And I thought, okay, it was a soppy romantic comedy. The missus liked it, fine, it's what you do when you want to get laid and that kind of thing. But you know what I mean, right? But no, it was just, I was like, do you know what? It was nice watching a movie like that because it did what it was meant to. It was a romantic, soppy movie. And that's exactly what it did. It had a lovely ending. The couple got together. It was a typical, stereotypical love story. Father kind of out disjointed, comes to Italy, falls in love with the area, falls in love with a beautiful woman, have a problem near the end, overcome the problem right at the last minute, live happily ever after. Great, feel good, romantic movie. Job done, right? Nothing particularly spectacular, but done. Not once did they mention it, and that's fine. This is what you're meant to do. You're meant to make great movies. And if you can put things in there like that and not mention it, we'll accept it more. You see, this is the whole thing with Captain America, right? What you should have done, right? Given him the shield, right? And then we could have had this really cool fucking TV series with, Captain America and the Falcon going on an adventure together, right? Not any mention of the fact that he was black. No mention of it. Just accept it.
Do you know what it should have been? It's like, all right, say we lent into it and we said Sam Wilson, or his name is going to be Captain America, yeah? It could have been the fact that he starts off. Do you want the journey? He starts off, yeah? He's been given this responsibility. Bucky's there as his mentor, yeah? He's the one who's supposed to bring him across because Steve's told him, goes, this guy's got it, yeah? He's got it, yeah? He doesn't believe that he's got it, yeah? And you go all the way through the film, he's doubting himself all the way through until he gets to the final fight with the thingy where he stops doubting himself and he goes, you know what? I need to do it this way. He goes, I promised Steve I'd do a good job. He goes, I've always tried to be a better man, blah, blah, blah. And you show him growing all the way through. That's a fucking hero
That's
story.
That's what you should have done. You see, I have never, ever had a problem with them making him Captain America. It was the one thing that made sense at the end of Endgame, because if you actually watch those 3 Captain America films, Bucky was his friend and his mentor who died, right? Who then came back as a nasty guy, right? Okay, he redeems himself, but he can't really be Captain America. There was this guy that was by Steve's side all the way through, right? It kind of made narrative sense within the movie to hand him the shield, right? I bought that, right? What I have a problem with is they spent the whole fucking shitty TV series banging on about his colour. Why? His colour, based upon your logic, shouldn't fucking matter. And it shouldn't. He earned the right, kind of, to be Captain America for supporting Steve. What's the colour of skin got to do with it?
It should have been about him feeling whether he was worthy or not for it.
Yes. Yeah,
and it's just
nothing to do with his colour of skin.
Yeah, it's just he's got that. He should start if you started off right. Yeah, you'd have the beginning of the film would be Sam Wilson. He's sitting in the fucking museum with the Captain America bits, and he's looking at it, and the what do you call it, the mannequin or whatever it is of Captain America is like fucking 8 foot tall, and there's him underneath there looking tiny. And he's like, fuck me, I've got a lot to live up to. And he's just listing all the stuff that he did during the Second World War, let alone the stuff that he did when he came out of deep freeze, yeah? And it's like, geez, I have a lot to live up to, yeah? I have to make sure that things are done right, this, that, and the other, and I do everything, But, no, they couldn't do that. That's a fucking hero. That's a story of a fucking hero.
Yeah.
But they couldn't do that. And they could have had it their way and made it work, but they couldn't. No, we had to do fucking shitty racism and do better, Senator. Fuck off, please.
I disagree with the serum thing. I'm sorry, but Biff, I disagree with the serum thing because Captain America was more than just the serum. He was a hero, right? And he wasn't just a hero because of his strength. He was a hero before he took the serum. He jumped on a fucking grenade before he took the serum. He tried to get into fights and get back up. Before that is what made him the hero.
And this is the worst thing that they did with it. I haven't seen it, but from my brief understanding of people's reviews of it, yeah, they could have just used the idea of the serum is like kind of come back to that. Sam, am I worthy enough? Because if I'm not worthy enough, I'm going to look like the fucking Red Skull. Yeah, I'm going to come out like the Red Skull because I don't believe I'm worthy enough. That's interesting. That's character development. That's growth. Fuck me, did you not get that right?
You see, you could have had the TV series setting that up. I think you're right, by the way. You could have had the TV series setting that up, and then the film could have been something completely different.
Do you know what's really annoying is that I don't think I've put the fucking... Did I put the story up?
No.
No, let me put the story up.
No, because we were talking about the DUI first, and then we got onto we were talking about Disney.
Let me do the story. Let me do the story. The story, because it fits in. It dovetails quite nicely with the previous one. In 2015, during a panel at Salt Lake City Comic-Con, Anthony Mackie expressed reservations about replacing Chris Evans as Captain America, stating, I don't think we need a new Cap. I don't think Cap needs to be changed right now. At the time, Mackie believed that both his characters Sam Wilson, the Falcon, and Sebastian Stan's Bucky Barnes were valuable in their existing roles that fuck me sideways. Anyway, however, following the events of Avengers Endgame, Steve Rogers passed the shield to Sam Wilson. Mackie embraced the mantle of Captain America in Captain America Brave New World, set to release on the 14th of February, already done. Mackie's character continued to confront new challenges, including political conspiracies involving President Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, portrayed by Harrison Ford. In this evolution, Mackie's perspective highlights the dynamic nature between character development within the cinematic universe, both reflecting on the narrative progression and the actor's growing connection to the role. He said he didn't want to do it, but they probably just dropped a wheelbarrow full of cash in front of him and he went, yeah, right then.
Well, yeah.
I don't blame him for that.
I think you're absolutely on the money in the fact that it could have been an interesting series, him doubting himself and Bucky getting him over the edge to be there.
Yeah.
Right? And then we could have had this totally different movie. Right? And I disagree. Shining, it would have been so much better if you never acknowledged the color of his skin, really, other than, maybe sometimes you have to acknowledge it in real life, but you know what I mean, not acknowledging that, oh, now we've got a black Captain America, and it doesn't really, again, it doesn't matter, is he a hero or not? And he was. Again, you see, I never questioned that at the end of Endgame. I never even thought that at the end of Endgame. I went, yeah, I see that. I see that as a logical problem. And he doesn't need the serum. He can use technology. And
it did look, he did give Bucky a fucking nod. Old Captain, gave Bucky a nod to turn around and say, your job is to make him into Captain America, pretty much. And I'm just, it's such a fucking wasted opportunity. And it would have been really good, and you could have had a really good character, and we could have enjoyed it. And it's like kind of, he might even get to the end and turn around and go, you know what? I'm Falcon. I've always been Falcon. I'm going to stay Falcon.
Oh.
I'm not Captain America.
I can tell you that's what's going to happen because Chris Evans is coming back as Captain America because his movie career hasn't done exactly very well. And you know that Marvel's thrown a bucket load of cash at him. And he's coming back, and this is the thing. Oh, I'm done with Cap. This bullshit. He's coming back, as is Tony Stark, right? That's what
we know that.
But again, this could have been. You could have had a really good TV series with Bucky and the Falcon. It could have been this buddy road trip thing, where you're right. He could have been doubting himself, but not because. People won't accept me because of the color of my skin. It's bullshit, right? Because people do. I mean, if this was true, right? Miles, what's his face, wouldn't have been a popular character. The Into Spider-Verse movies wouldn't have done as well as they fucking did. Yeah. And I know about the character.
Get into that. He needs to have his own character. He can't just be Spider-Man
but people
adjacent
accepted him. That's what I'm getting at. They accepted him as a Spider-Man. I understand your argument, and that's a different one. But what I'm saying is people accepted it. So it's bullshit that we had to have this entire fucking TV series about it because most people would accept it. Because most people, Hollywood, don't think this way anymore. Most people are like, okay. Most people accept homosexuals these days, right? Most people in the civilized world accept people have different coloured skins and different religions because we accept it, because that's how we were brought up. Oh, God, it pisses me off.
I know. It knocks me too. I find it insulting from two angles. One, the fact that you think that we're not accepting, and then the other bit is like kind of, oh, these poor insert minority or oppressed group can't do it without our help. Fuck off. Fuck off. It's not needed. I'm sorry. I'm not having it. Not in a million years. Anyway, I'm going to see if I can make your blood boil for a third time.
I need to talk about Cobra Kai in a minute.
No, we'll talk about Cobra Kai. We need to get to the thing. It's the last story.
Now, we are fucked.
It's gaming, sorry. Grand Theft Auto 6 is slated for a release in the fall of 2025, targeting PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S platforms. A PC version is anticipated the following year, aligned with Rockstar's historical gaming pattern release. Regarding the price, while the standard price for AAA titles has recently been set to $70, industry analyst Matthew Ball suggests that Take-Two Interactive, the parent company of Rockstar Games, might consider a price for GTA 6 between $80 and $100. This potential increase aims to set a new pricing benchmark within the gaming industry. It's important to note that these figures are speculative, and official pricing has yet to be confirmed by Rockstar or Take-Two. They want to do $100. They put it out into the wild, and everyone's gone, no. My favourite game is fucking Helldivers 2. How much did that cost? £30 fucking pounds.
Can I be a slightly devil's advocate here?
Yeah.
Right? And I know you're going to shoot me down, but let me be devil's advocate for 5 minutes here, right? Zelda, right? I have played for over 200 hours, right? And it's probably the most expensive Switch game I've bought, right? But that 200 hours was awesome. Spider-Man cost the same money. Completed that in under 10 hours, and it was shit. GTA 5, I mean 2, yeah. GTA 5, right, is still going now. It still has a thriving community. Right?
Oh, because it's been re-released more than fucking herpes.
Well, I mean, it's been released on every platform, but there are people still modding the fuck out of it, making lots of TikTok videos about it, doing stupid shit in GTA 5. I mean, the game has had more hours of gameplay than most games out there. So purely on the amount of time that you spend playing that game, there is a justification to charge more.
No.
Why?
Sorry. No, not at all.
Why?
Right. So what it is it goes like this. Yeah. If you choose to spend $1 billion on making a game, that's your fucking decision. The market price for games at the moment, which I disagree with, is $70. Yeah. So what's that? 60 quid UK. Yeah. Including tax. Not the other one's not including tax. Yeah. Given that, yeah, I can play. I've got the Space Marine 2 came out. Yeah, fucking brilliant. Love that game. Yeah, lasted me. I think it probably lasted me a total of about 20 hours, but I loved every moment of it. Yeah. So I've got that. I bought. No, I didn't. There was an option to on Games Pass to play Far Cry 6. Yeah, Far Cry 6. There's hundreds of hours worth of gameplay in that. I played it for 2 hours. Decided it was shit, and really glad I didn't buy it. Yeah. So you can only say that after the fact. You can't say that before. And because you can't do that, it's I'm now betting that this game's going to be good or bad. Here's the other thing, Keith, and this is the bit that's going to get you. The original makers of Grand Theft Auto are no longer at Rockstar. And there's rumours that it has been hit, like you lovingly say, with the pokey stick.
Yeah, I've heard the rumor.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the computer gaming industry is slower to catch up than the movies. I'll tell you one thing, talking about games now, because you've done it. I read something today that they're releasing a remastered, not a second one, unfortunately, but a remastered PlayStation 5, and I am going to buy this. It's your fault. You got me into it. Days of Thunder. No, not Days of Thunder.
Days Gone.
Gone. Yeah, they're bringing out a remastered version. Fuck it, I'm playing that on the PS5. Fucking awesome game. You bastard.
Oh, it is a great game. It really is.
Awesome game. No, I agree with you, right? I do agree that I think $100 is too much, but I can't entirely disagree with, if you're going to sit there and play that game for literally 1,000 hours, there is an argument. I get pissed off when you spend 50 quid on a game. Right, you know, okay, this is a prime example, right? I got pissed off at how much they charged for the Miles Morales spin-off game, because that was a fucking DLC. That was not a game. That was DLC, and it lasted a few hours, and you paid a hell of a lot of money for it, right? I was even more pissed off with what they charged for Spider-Man 2, because it was a shit game. If GTA has been smacked by the wokey pokey stick, it is going to be the biggest failure of all time, right? And maybe it needs to happen, because the computer, if we think Hollywood is bad, right, the gaming industry is 10 fucking times worse. I mean, Spider-Man 2, I mean, no word of a lie, every guy I rescued in New York said my husband would be pleased. And it's literally every fucking time, right? I get it. There are married people to the same sex in New York. Great. I'm a supporter of it. I am a supporter of same-sex marriage. You should be able to love who you want. I totally agree with it. But not every fucking man that's in need of help in New York is married to another man.
Well, at least the hospital missions. They were the hospital ones, weren't they? You had to get the guy to the fucking ambulance or
standard
hospital.
things. No, I'm not talking about it. I can understand that again. That story is fine. I accept that story. I haven't got a problem with that. I've got a problem with every single person that I rescue in New York when I'm in free mode was always saying, "Oh, my husband," or "Thank you forever." It's like, okay, I get it.
Are you sure they weren't really manly women?
No, they say my husband.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I mean, it just.
Right, so
and don't even get me started on fucking Hogwarts Legacy. Don't even. Get me started on that.
Right. So I just want to bring this up, and this is very important, yeah, because if they put it down at $100, all the other games will come out at $100. Now that $100. Now when you buy a game for $100, and I'm absolutely serious, you expect it to work day one. Yes. No fucking 40 gigabyte patch.
Yes.
Yeah, it needs to work day fucking one. The disc version needs to be the working version. You sit there and you said you probably pay more for the Zelda game, but the Zelda game worked. Day one.
Oh, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was robbed from Game of the Year. I'm sorry, but it totally was. Fucking Baldur's Gate 3. fuck off was that game as good as Zelda. I mean, the technical ability that went into that game, it's because, right, it's Japanese.
It's because it wasn't Sony. It had nothing to do with Sony. If you look at the Game of the Year awards, it's pretty much sponsored by fucking Sony. So anyway, going back to, I'm going to go back to, you can charge $100, but there are games out there, and the best example I've got is Helldivers. I didn't even pay full price for it, yeah? I paid £27 because it's on a discount, yeah? And I have racked up about 303 hours, and I've loved every fucking minute of it. My highest body count on it is 863, I think, where in one round I managed to kill 863 enemies on one map, to the point that usually gets swarmed by whatever's left on the map. And because I'd killed everything, there was no fucking one there. So, and that game cost less, and I got more enjoyment out of that. Dying Light I bought for £3 on Xbox. It was so cheap, I bought my friend a copy of it. We've been playing it co-op. Yeah, I've had great fun with that. Yeah, the price does not matter. The quality of the game matters. I think there is a concern that the new GTA 6 game, because it does not have the original people, it's not going to have that wicked sense of humour. It's not going to have this all thing where we go through and take the piss out of things. Yeah, I think we're going to get fucking pronouns. Yeah, and A and B body type. Yeah,
but the thing
fucking
is,
pronouns.
I think they're going to remove that because you saw this week, as was vindicated well and truly. I mean, even the mainstream media was going, yeah, he was right. I mean, what's his face? That massive YouTuber that basically featured him and went, leave him alone, he's right. And it's like, yeah. He was vindicated. He was vindicated, right? And all that. And again, I don't think they're going to do it. I don't. I know that it was rumored to have, and I think they are frantically going through that game now. They're doing the film industry version of reshoots. They're going and stripping it all out. I bet you.
Yeah.
And if they leave it in there, it will be the biggest flop, and it will make it will change the gaming industry one way or another, because GTA has one of the biggest mass appeals. I mean, hardcore gamers play it. Fucking, casual gamers play it.
I just want to point out the following. There is an anime version of GTA. I think I sent you a video of it. And it looks really fucking good. It's like a bit of Spider-Man, a bit of GTA, a bit of this, a bit of that, like Crackdown, all the things. It's literally just a hodgepodge of all the fucking games that I like, and they crammed it to one thing. They made it fun, and as everyone I sent it to noticed, instead of the car with the chainsaw arms, which stuck out to me, it's got boobies in it. Big bouncing boobies.
I will say this, right? If it is the massive game that they're saying it's going to be, if it's going to have all that gameplay in it, right, and if it's actually good, like all the other GTA games, right, then people aren't going to have a problem paying that money because they're going to love the game, right? If it's shit, like what was that fucking movie? I forgot the name. Fanboys, right? I love that movie. I've got to watch that again. Do you remember the last line in that movie? They go through all this fucking trouble to break into it, and then the last line, what if the movie's shit, right? Can you imagine the fallout if GTA 6 flops? Can you imagine? Because this ain't fucking movie fans. This is pissed off fucking gamers that have been waiting for this game for years.
It will tank them. It will tank them more than one way. The first thing is first, everyone's a bit shit ton of refunds. Anyway,
it's got to be good. It's got to be good, especially if they're going to charge that.
And as I said, there's an anime version of it that looks much more interesting.
And I'm kind of holding out for Red Dead Redemption 3 as well. And I want to see that. So yeah.
Have you played Red Dead Redemption 2?
Yeah, I loved it.
Oh, it's a masterpiece game. It really is one of the best made games ever.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's time for the comments, because people have been chatting away and we have not been paying attention. So we'll fight the first person in, the missus. She may have an inside track on you, Biffa. I'm just saying. But even with
Biffa,
the inside
you can go gold star every week if you sleep with him.
But Biffa is reduced to the bronze star this week because Dave beat him.
And he didn't even promote himself. So, hi, Dave. Oh, go on.
Hi, Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Biffa's first comment: I survived the gorge, starring Miles Teller. I haven't watched it yet, but as Keith described it, he described it as a streaming film.
It's. I didn't think it was that bad. I fucking hated the spiders, but it is a streaming film. It's kind of like it's a streaming film. I mean, it's more the charismatic actors rather than the character development.
Oh, fucking! I've just seen what Chuck's written. We'll get there. We will get there.
I said it.
I said it. No. Anyway, so it's like hello, Dave Lowell, and then we've got Biffa. He's going hello, Dave too.
Love you, Biff.
I need to buy. Actually, saying that, I need to buy your book and read it. I think I got through the first 5 pages of your other book, which is sitting somewhere downstairs because I've lost it, and I need to find it, and I'll finish that one off.
What's he banging on about? What do you mean censored? Did YouTube censor you or something? We didn't.
Yeah, Chuck. We didn't.
What are you talking about?
Oh no, saying that, Keith, I have got it set up so certain naughty words aren't there to keep YouTube happy in the chat. Right. So I never had to worry about looking at the chat because when Nige was doing it with us,
you used a naughty word. Naughty boy. Now go wash your mouth out with soap and water. Or your hands.
And then there's Chuck saying hello to everyone. And it's Steve! Hi, Steve! Wave.
Hey, Steve.
Wave. Wave to Steve. And then there's Laurie. Wave to Laurie.
Hey, Laurie.
Wave.
Big hugs.
And not only Wrench. Hi, Nige.
I was going to say more of a spanner.
When I say Wrench, I mean he's the only person who can kick people out of the chat.
Oh, I know.
Or censor people.
I was just I was using it as a cheap excuse to call him a spanner.
Call him a spanner.
I love you really, Nige.
Anyway. Oh, that fucking film. I have no idea what they were thinking. I really do. They didn't vet anything. They didn't check anything. It just ticked some boxes. They wanted to go for it, and they indulged in their luxury beliefs. I think it's the best way of describing it. It is a luxury belief. Yeah. And then it comes back to Emily Paris wasn't filmed in Mexico, upsetting all the Mexicans. Yeah. So, what we got here? Because Hollywood can't have normal people in their clique. Yeah, true.
Not anymore, it can't.
Sam Wilson must take the serum. Yeah, what happens? He'll take the serum. Yeah, he'll take the serum and he'll get syphilis. If you don't know what that's not a reference to. Light news day. Just Cap America. Yeah, it was quite light. I had to pull out a gaming story. And then we got wrapping up our edit of the next Kovaction blockbuster. Watching those movies is so helpful to be a better creator from a selfish perspective. I think, Chuck, I genuinely think that you need to do like a big year in review one and get all your footage together and do like an hour-long one that we can all sit down and watch. Don't forget to put chapters in it, more importantly, because I'll watch part of it and then I'll get lost and have to fucking scrub through it. So chapters will help. No, just laughing at something. I'm assuming he's laughing at you, Keith.
Probably.
Look at it this way: the game producers think that game game men are the only ones that need saving. Yeah.
He's laughing at the Spider-Man comic.
Yeah.
Thanks, nice.
And then it's like he tried waxing his balls and he wasn't keen. I mean, he tried Baldur's Gate 3 and he wasn't keen. Right. That's what this week's episode should be called. Hashtag Keith Rant.
He's done it deliberately.
You said there was no news.
Whoa, there's no news. I don't want to rant about.
You literally.
I was deliberately not trying to rant.
Red rag to a ball.
It's like, well, that's gonna piss me off. That's gonna piss me off. I'm trying to be positive. That's really gonna piss me off.
So Chuck says he's got 383 hours till his next video. Kidding.
He's talking about gameplay. There's no way he's fucking edited that for.
Yeah. What's it? In PlayStation Plus, you still have to function when it's released. It may be used for 2 hours free trial of GTA 6 before dropping any cash on it. Yeah. This is the comment.
Yeah, because you said, she might have the inside track. And I went, no, all you have to do, Biffa, is sleep with him to get a gold star. And that's what he's responding to.
Thanks, Keith. Oh, look, following Keith's lead.
Yeah, drop me in it.
Yeah. I could say the same about when you and Laurie do a live stream, that Laurie's only there because she sleeps with you for a live stream.
No.
You can't type naughty words into the thingy. I put.
Yeah. So
when you
wash
left
your
when you
hands
abandoned
out
us,
with some.
no, wait for a second. When you abandoned us, Nigel, I had to put systems in place to cover for you, and one of them was finding naughty words. I still struggle with the fucking spam bots when they come up every so often because it drives me wild. Keith is exempt. Nigel Johnson, okay. Diplomatic immunity. Note to self.
Diplomatic immunity. I know what he's
Note to
getting
self on holiday with Gareth in Disneyland. Well, you and I aren't. It should be just you and I going to Disneyland. It would be really good fun, just the two of us getting drunk in Epcot, because you can get drunk in Epcot, and I've got drunk in Epcot. And I think the first person I messaged when I was drunk in Epcot, I got to Japan, because my wife was supposed to be doing drinking around the world. But I don't like this one. Oh, you drink it. Done. So we got to Japan. I was pissed. So I video called Nigel. And on that note, let's bring the music down. We've got 2 trailers to watch.
What?
Oh, did you not know? We've got 2 trailers to watch.
I didn't know of any new trailers. What are we watching?
Well, the Super Bowl was on.
Yeah,
So there were trailers.
Yeah, but ones we've already seen. Unless you're doing... Which one are you doing?
So it's from 6 days ago.
Okay.
And it's the Blunderbolts.
Oh, okay. We're going to do that one, are we? Okay.
We'll do that one.
This
So
wasn't such a good trailer.
Yeah.
Let's talk facts. The Avengers are not coming.
Hollywood doesn't have heroes.
Who will keep the American people safe?
There's some big threat out there, and you are gonna help me stop it.
Wait, us?
Yeah, you.
Like we're some kind of squad, some kind of suicide squad.
Why, you got someplace to be?
I love that guy.
So none of us comply? So what, we all just punch and shoot?
I can't think of a worse group of people trying to work together.
Look, me! John, stop!
Where were you?
Where are you?
Everyone here has done bad.
It's different.
Yeah, I don't understand why this movie exists.
You can't escape the past. Hey, it's like your mind is somewhere else.
So you can do something about it now, or live with it forever.
This could get messy.
No shit. You thought you were gonna be some great saviors? You can't even save yourself.
We can't do this. No one here is a hero.
Yes.
No. When I...
You have to forgive me. I have to periodically pause it so we don't get copyright struck.
look at you, I don't see your mistakes. That's why we need each other.
Okay, that was really good.
We are the Thunderbolts!
Can't call ourselves that.
God, thank you.
That's the... Oh, no, we're not calling ourselves the Suicide Squad. That's a terrible name. Pretty much... Fuck me.
This has makings of team that can rise to glory.
I mean, those accents are definitely going to do a lot of good for Russian-American relations, aren't they?
This team can be the heroes on the Wheaties box. With a little giddy toy.
Do you want to hear something really awful?
What?
I'd rather watch that than fucking Captain America.
Yes.
I really would.
I still want to know what the fucking asterisk means as well. They are
do have
playing
the
that
same.
up.
So, this is the funny thing is, if you said Gareth do a Thunderbolts movie, I would have gone, right, we'll do it. So it's kind of like the Suicide Squad, but there's going to be a really good twist at the end. And the twist goes as follows, yeah? The government hired fucking Taskmaster, proper Taskmaster, Anthony McMasters, yeah, to take care of the problem. And they get close to the end and they look like they're about to be beaten. And Taskmaster pops in and fucking finishes the day off and takes all the glory from them. That's what I'd do. There's a fucking big twist to it, because that would have been really good.
Taskmaster is going to die.
Yes.
I mean, not in the trailer.
Not even in the trailer.
It's not as a good trailer as the first time round. It is deliberately showing New York getting destroyed again, so you kind of have the feels of the original Avengers movie. I've got to admit that what's his face as the red what's his face
Red Guardian.
He's probably going to be more funny than anything in the last Captain America movie, and he probably will say something that will make me laugh in the movie. I kind of like him. I think this is the one I might go and see in the cinema, because I think this might be better than Captain America. I'm not saying it's going to be good, but I think it's going to be better than Captain America.
Yeah, definitely.
I just do.
Let me just check there's nothing at the end before we go, because I didn't watch these. I just noticed that Super Bowl trailers.
Alexei, have you slept?
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
I'd like not to die today, so maybe somebody else should be driving.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I might go and see that one. Right, what's the other one?
The other
you've
one?
got?
It's called, don't laugh, Mickey 17.
I've seen the trailers for this. So this is a Super
have
Bowl
you?
one, right? Okay. Yeah. No, I've seen loads of them. They've been around. This was trailered last year.
I haven't seen anything, so
Nothing was working out, and
That's the London Mayor's.
You're applying to be an expendable.
He read through the paperwork.
yeah, I should have read through it.
That's it. Mickey, deep breaths, fill your lungs. Imagine there's an unknown virus in the air,
And you're sucking in every single microscopic particle floating around.
all the viruses.
So good?
There really was an unknown virus
Oh dear.
in the air. Lethal one.
See you tomorrow.
Fellow pioneers, almost every single one of you will be remembered throughout history.
They made me work my ass off, giving me one shitty mission after another.
You're an expendable. You're here to be expended.
Every time I died, they just printed me out again. Everyone asks, what's it feel like to die? The ship was filled with mostly dickheads. But Nasha, she's always loved me. That's when everything changed. Multiples.
In the case of multiples, we exterminate every individual.
Which body goes first? One at a time is twice the fun.
You don't look like you're printed out. You're just a person.
It's not your fault. This is a fight to the death.
Oh, definitely getting a fucking thing on this claim.
The simple fact is, we're in a state of war. And our survival is in the balance.
I got a job to do.
Mickey Bonds, fighting right to the end.
My great gift to mankind.
Are you afraid to die?
This time I wasn't scared.
Looks interesting. I saw it, and I saw a story from James Patterson, where he said he signed up for the film without reading the script. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, the critics haven't exactly written many nice things about it, but I actually like the look of it, and I like the first trailer. That trailer's done the same thing. I'm going to go and watch it because I don't trust critics these days. They thought Parasite was amazing, and I thought it was shit. I liked Snowpiercer, which they didn't like, so maybe this will be a bit like Snowpiercer, in which case I'll probably enjoy it. It looks unique. I agree with Nige. So just Chuck. I'm going to go and see it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've got some interesting films to watch because I haven't had many. But last year, end of 2023, I had fucking Godzilla, which I loved the fuck out of. I really did. It was fantastic, and it was just a great, lovely surprise for me, cinema-wise. Because I'd be honest with you, I've been going to the cinema and I've been watching all the old films. So I went and I watched Aliens, I watched Die Hard, I watched Terminator, I watched Blade Runner, I watched RoboCop, and I had such a good time with the older films. And my cinema hasn't put on any of those older films recently, which is really fucking annoying. Because last year I missed out on watching the Star Wars trilogy in the cinema. I've never seen the original Star Wars trilogy in the cinema. And I would have loved to have seen it in the cinema, which is annoying. And I was hoping they'd do that, and they didn't. You let me down. Damn. So yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. It may be crap, but we'll find out. So I'm just going to be flashing the comments down the bottom. Shall we talk about Cobra Kai? Because we both watched Cobra Kai, and we both really enjoyed Cobra Kai. John McTiernan will have to wait till next week. And I'm sorry, I've been fucking you around when it comes to the John McTiernan films, and I apologise.
Here's the thing, right? I was always a fan of the Karate Kid movies. And I have enjoyed Cobra Kai because what I like about, and I've always said about Cobra Kai, yes, it's really cheesy.
Yeah.
But they have somehow captured the heart of those movies and continued it. And yeah, it's cheesy, it's not believable, it's really corny, and I fucking loved it. And you know, I mean, we got to talk about the dream sequence because that was just fucking awesome. I don't care that it didn't look that great. I don't care. It was just like, fuck me, it's Mr. Miyagi. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm done. I'm sold. Take my fucking money. And I love the full circleness of it. I love that Johnny got redemption. I love that Kreese got redemption. And I bought it.
So the one that got me was the old man who was running Cobra Kai in Korea. Do you know who that actor? Did you ever watch Dexter? TV series.
Not all of it. But who is it?
Right, so he had his lab partner, a guy called Vince Masuka.
Yes, I know the actor.
It was Vince Masuka in old man makeup.
Yes, I know it was a younger actor.
It bothered me. It really bothered me for a while because I couldn't think who it was. Right, so I'm going to turn around and say the following. It had a lot of heart. It had a lot of redemption. It had a lot of people coming full circle. Is it melodramatic? Yes. Is it over the top? Yes. Is it slightly soapish? Yes. But does it have heart? Yes.
But that's what the original movies were. They were slightly soapish. They were melodramatic. They were over the top. And it's why we loved them. Wax on, wax off. We loved those movies as kids. They were ridiculous movies, right? But they were fucking great. And they were entertaining. And this is exactly what this was. I loved the bit where What's-Her-Face kicks the shit out of that fucking YouTube bitch. And when she goes, welcome to the valley. And I went, bitch. And then she goes, bitch. I'm like, yes.
I did the same.
Fucking cheered at that. I was like,
right.
I said...
So my big issue is that Robbie never won a tournament ever in Cobra Kai. and he got fucked over. And then when it was like it was great because you could see Miguel from the sidelines going, "I'm fucking having you, mate," like that, and it was great because he absolutely tore him to shreds. It was so good because it wasn't. The funny thing was when you had it was when he attacked Robbie and he busted his knee. Yeah, Miguel took that personally two ways. One, that's my fellow thing. And two, you fucked with my brother. You fucked with my family. I'm gonna fuck you up, and he did, and it was brilliant. It was so good because he went out there to win it, to get some fucking payback for his brother, and it was great. And then you saw Daniel LaRusso in the fucking Cobra Kai gi.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is, his wife gave him a look and went, doesn't look pretty good, man.
Yeah. But again, I loved it. I loved how the redemption felt natural. Yes, it's melodramatic. It's all of those things. But not once did I feel that, no, you shouldn't have done that. Not once did I think that Johnny hadn't earned his redemption. Not once did I think, Kreese earning his redemption. Even that...
God, the Kreese Silver fight was mad. It's like, what were they fucking thinking? It was, oh my God. I actually really enjoyed that because you had the bit where they're in Korea, you had the woman who, I can't remember her fucking name now, who looks great with her hair down but not up. You had her and Kreese said, "This is the last time you'll ever see me," and he disappears off, and then he goes and apologizes to Tori, and then to Johnny, and then he goes off and sees Silver, who's going to make a move on Johnny's family. Yeah, so Kreese's last thing is to save Johnny's family, which kind of gives him that redemption. And it was great because they're in the fight, yeah, and he's got that broken bottle, and he's like, kind of, I was a warrior, I'll take whatever I've got at the time. He went, yeah, sure. So he flicks his fucking cigar in his eye. That's brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. The two of them must have had a fucking whale of a time together doing that. And I know that the guy who played Kreese loved the fact that he came back to play him.
Yes. But I mean, I'm trying to, right. There's only one other series that I can compare that I have totally 100% bought the ending to and gone, you know what? You couldn't have done any better. You couldn't have ended it more perfectly. And that's Breaking Bad. It ended perfectly. The ending to this is fucking perfect. And I've watched it twice. I loved it. I mean, I've always loved the Karate Kid movies. I mean, I'm a fucking huge geek. That is one of the, one of those movies that that I watched as a kid that really sort of defined my geekdom and loving to quote movies. And I know so many fucking lines in that movie, and the 2 and 3, which are not as good, but I still love them. And it's now got me excited for that Jackie Chan movie that's going to have Daniel in it. And I've watched the latest trailer for that, and I've gone, do you know what? I think this is going to be good as too. And I genuinely loved it. I liked the fact that it was Johnny-centric, not Daniel-centric, but Daniel had his moment.
I was so worried that they were gonna go back because it was. It got to the end, and the only way they could win it was with Cobra Kai, and it was like, it comes full circle.
It's brilliantly done, and it was totally believable in the world, is what I mean. But Tori's takedown of the social media queen was just fucking.
Oh, dude.
It was just like I cheered more for that than I did for Miguel's fight, because that guy was kind of coerced, right? You had to feel slightly sorry for him, right? Yeah. He was coerced, right? Whereas she was just a fucking out and out bitch, right? And I like the Tori she fucking decks him and she knocks the tooth out, right? It's like, welcome to the valley, bitch. I was like, yes.
Yeah. It was good. And then you had Johnny fight the British guy, I can't remember his name now, from the Iron Dragon at the end. And I've seen that guy was in Mortal Kombat, and he was good in Mortal Kombat. But was Johnny. His accent was supposed to be a Hong Kong British accent.
Terrible.
So it was a bit weird. If you've ever come across those people, I've come across a couple of them.
I have, but it wasn't like that. That was just a really. I mean, it was
that's
almost
what they were aiming for, and they didn't get.
I know, it didn't get it. But again, comic book bad guy gets his ass kicked by Johnny. Yes. So
it was great because you get to the end, yeah, and it looks like Johnny, and it flashes back to the fight between him and Danny LaRusso, and you think he's going to go for the crane kick, yeah, but he sweeps the leg.
Yeah,
because it was always the joke in what do you call it? Sweep the leg, go for the leg, sweep the leg. Yeah, it was always a joke from Karate Kid, the first film, and he sweeps the leg and he takes him down. It's just everything felt. Everyone got their just desserts. Everything felt earned. Everyone got their redemption or their comeuppance, and they had their happy endings. And I was so happy. It really made me happy to see that. It was lovely, warm TV.
I mean, the scene at the end with the callback to Miyagi with the chopsticks catching the fly, which I've always loved that scene. And then Daniel does it, and it's beginner's luck. And Miyagi walks off, but then like fucking Johnny, and then he's like, oh, you know, nice little callback. And Daniel's about to do it, and then Johnny walks in like, no mercy. I was like, yes, I like that.
And I love the fact that because what do you call it? Miyagi-Do is all about fucking balance and this, that, and the other, and it refers back to it at the end. In terms of goes, you're going to learn balance, yeah. I'm going to do aggression, and Daniel's going to teach you defense. So you're going to have two senseis, and because you're going to learn aggression and defense, yeah, because that balance will help you win things, and at the end of the day, that balance helped them win things. It makes me smile thinking about it.
And I want to just respond to that comment because she's absolutely right. And that's one of the reasons that I related to the first movie, and I love those three. But this series, all of this series, it has it has those themes running through it, but it also has redemption for the bullies that were bullied. Yeah. And yes, bullying is still at its heart, but this series had heart. And if you loved these three movies, the original Mr. Miyagi movies, the Karate Kid movies, Cobra Kai is an honest, brilliantly made follow-up, and it ends perfectly. It's 6 seasons. If you're a fan of those, watch this, because trust me, it ends in a satisfying. It's not like a lot of things that's a letdown at the end. This is just it is one of the best ended series I've ever seen. I'm disappointed it's gone and it's ended. I'm not disappointed how it ended. It ended perfectly, and there is not many TV shows that you can say that about. In fact, I can only ever say that really about Breaking Bad. So there are other TV series have just never ended as good for me. Breaking Bad was perfect. This is perfect.
But coming back to that comment, yeah, because it's like kind of the thing about overcoming bullies through mentorship and toughening up, and it's great because you see the kind of dynamic where the kids have been bullied and then they become bullies and then they get a comeuppance and then they go back and then they find their balance, and then they all turn out to be good people, and everyone had a happy ending. The one I liked was the fact that what's the geeky one called? Dimitri.
Oh, the two, Dimitri? Hawk and the one with his hot girlfriend.
Dimitri, yeah.
Yeah, Dimitri,
and he missed it
getting
because
laid.
they were shagging. And he's like, he comes back and he's like, kind of, oh, he won like that, and then he does his belt up, and I'm just like,
again, I loved it.
Because the worst thing is, if he told Johnny what was going on, Johnny would go, "I'm proud of you," and he would have too. He's like, dude, it was my fight, not your fight. If you're going to get some, you get some, sunshine.
Yeah. It was,
yeah.
And it was chef's kiss in its delivery. And I've been annoyed that they did it as 5 episode things, releases, but by God, it was worth waiting for. I mean, it was perfect. And don't get me wrong, you have to be into those original movies, and you have to, vibe with the cheesiness and the melodrama and everything else, because it is cheesy. It really is. But it I've never seen anything, 30 years later. This was made with love. This was made with heart. This was made with respect, right? And here's the thing. right? Here's the other thing about Cobra Kai. It's diverse. It has women, and it has men.
And you know what?
And there's none of that fakeness about it. You buy it all. And why do you buy it all? Because it's great characters, because it's made with love, because it's made with heart, because it's made by genuine people that genuinely loved these movies. And by God, look at what they did. And do we care? Did we care? Did we go, no, we bought it all because we loved it. That's all you have to do. Make good stuff. Everything else is natural. And I loved it. I did. I loved it. It's one of my favorite. I think it's going to go down as one of the best ended series of all time. I do. I don't think you could have ended it any other way. And I think it ended perfectly. And I love the fact that karate is about circles. You know, Mr. Miyagi's wax on, wax off, circles, and the whole thing is a circle. And it's perfect. It's perfect. And I'm glad you really enjoyed it as well, because I fucking loved it. And I knew you hadn't watched it. I'm sitting there going, I want to text you about it. I want to text you about it, because I stayed up until 3 o'clock in the fucking morning watching it Friday night because it was so fucking good. And
I watched the first 2 Friday night, and then I had to finish the others on Saturday when I had the chance. But yeah. It was. I loved that. That was really good. I was worried that it was going to go a bit more Daniel centric towards the end, but Johnny got his. It was all about him sorting his shit out and getting his redemption and having that second shot, and it was just lovely. I loved it. Anyway, let's talk about something a little bit more darker. Let's talk about Severance.
Go on then. You give your feeling.
All right. So the first things first is Kia. Because they go like this practically, they're getting to the point that it's a bit cultish, where they're like, praise be to Kia. And there was that comment was made by Mark to Milchek in the lifts. Seems a bit more satanic. Now, I've been told Kia in Iranian is dick. I've been told in German that it's cow herder. So we're herding people. Yeah. They are going to do something that's going to fuck with the population, the actual population of the planet. So it's now turned into what the fuck they're doing to what the fuck they're going to do to the planet. So I think it may be some weird cult thing, and I really, really think it's a cult thing. I think Milchik is going to do a heel turn. Yeah, I think he's gonna. Well, I say heel turn. It's more a babyface turn. He's gonna join their side because, ironically, and you'll appreciate it ironically, he got a bad performance review.
I knew that was going to play.
Yeah, I know. He got a bad performance review, and I think that he's going to feel like he's slightly misaligned, and those pictures that he received are really bothering him. But we don't quite know exactly how they're bothering him, because he asked the the secretary who deal with Natalie, I can't remember what her name is, what's going on there, the weird melon carving of Irv's face.
Yeah, that was what the
fucking weird.
Yeah.
And then you had the reintroduction of, I can't remember, it's Herb or something, Christopher Walken's character. You had the introduction with him, and then you've got the starter, and this is the bit where it makes me feel afterlife-y sort of thing. So they have the dark corridor with the bright lift at the end, like a signifying of death of some sort, which is a bit creepy. Plus the severed floor is on the 7th floor, and if you know anything, I've said this before, if you know anything about Dante's Inferno, the 7th circle of hell was saved for people with violent deaths, and then people who committed violent deaths against themselves. Mark is now fully. This is the annoying bit, because we had that the fucking trip in the middle of nowhere is now desyncing. So his severed personality the partition's breaking down, but there are some weird perceptional things there that that he's seeing is that's there and not there. So, for example, there's a photo on his desk, of the team, but when like reality started cutting, the photo's not there. So, do the severed people see everything that they should be seeing? So that macro data refinement looks like one thing, and could be something else. So that what they're seeing is an illusion, kind of like Plato's cave sort of thing. So we've got all of those things in there. Helly R or whatever the CEO's daughter, whatever his name is, they're onto her and they don't trust her, which is a good thing. But I think that personality, her severed personality, is the one that's going to help them. And then he finally desynced towards the end where he saw his dead wife. I am thinking that the severed world is an illusion, and the reason that he's seeing his wife is because he thinks about his wife a hell of a lot. She's buried deep in his subconscious, and whatever the severance thing does, so it creates these illusions. So the things that you can't see is now becoming visible. So he saw his wife because it's in his subconscious. And the funny thing is that subconscious is shared between the four of them. So from poor Milchek's perspective, they're hallucinating shit that he can't see. And he's having to deal with these people who can't see exactly what's going on. And that's
I think it's
weird.
And they also mentioned that Mark was the essential one to completing Cold Harbor. And that's why they're putting up with all this shit. And that's the one reason why they put him with a new bunch of people. So they played on the fact that Mark is the central sort of person to all this. So, yeah, I think you're onto something. I think there's definitely references to hell, but whether they're deliberate or not. The simulation thing, why they kept seeing themselves on the field trip.
Yeah, their reality doesn't match with actual reality.
It was a weird one this week. I mean, the girl just freaks me out. She's fucking freaky. And again, it's deliberate. She kind of looks like she looks like an Asian version of Tom Cruise's ex-wife. What's her face? The one that was in the Batman Begins.
Nicole Kidman.
No, Batman Begins. Christian.
Sorry.
Yeah, you know who I mean.
Katie Holmes.
Katie Holmes. She kind of does. She has Katie Holmes vibes about her. She's weird. And I mean, there's definitely cultish things going on there. Yeah, there's definitely an anti-Scientology thing going on in there. But yeah, well, we've got episode 6 next week. Maybe we'll get a little bit more revealed. I mean,
yeah, I'm just looking at the IMDb, and one of the reviews is just give us some answers already, which I appreciate.
Yes, I think they do need to give some more answers. I mean, you know, Paradise is very good at doing that. I mean, fuck me, right? They've cut.
No, wait, hold it. We'll talk about it in a moment. Let's just finish. Let's wrap this up and we'll go to Paradise. Because I've got some thoughts about that too. You're right. It needs to give us some answers, some definitive answers, and move it on. If they do it right, we get an answer, we get another question. Because another TV show called Paradise is very good at giving us an answer and then getting another question. And I watched that this week, and it was quite sad that Billy died, which was annoying. I think that he's played some other bits that he's done in the story, but this week it was Billy got killed by, I can't remember her name, his love interest, who I reckon killed the president. And we got very close to seeing who killed the president. And they're not scared. And the thing is they're not scared of going, well, here's one thing, here's your answer. Oh, you've got more questions. So the first things first is, why the fuck is... Sorry, we're in Paradise now. Why the fuck is Sinatra, so keen on not letting anyone in? Or not letting anyone survive? Because you'd think at one point she'd just pull some people in, even if it was just bodies for scientific study. Yeah?
Oh, yeah. And they really revealed what the discovery was. You blink and you fucking miss it. but it was a super volcano.
Super volcano.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Yellowstone. It was in Antarctica. It was a super volcano. That's what was the big flash.
Really? I thought it was a fucking solar event. Okay, I missed it. I missed it. I have to go back and
It's
watch
on the
it.
paper, and I paused it and went, super volcano found under Antarctica. I went, oh, that would do it. That because you see the top of the Washington Monument flooding, you're like, solar event wouldn't cause that.
No, if it melted all the ice caps and every
But a big fucking volcano under Antarctica, mate.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That makes sense. But yeah, coming back to it, you don't know why she's done it. They'll tell you that later. But they almost told you who killed the president. They were so close.
And
then you
I
found
think
out
it was pretty much said it was Sinatra through what's her face. Yeah.
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 But we haven't seen it yet. They almost showed us it. So you had what do you call it? Hits Cal, the president's dad, who's suffering from dementia of sorts, and he kept on saying certain things. So he referred to Billy as Sniper.
Yeah.
Because Billy's proper job for his PMC was Sniper. So he was saying that, and then it was 3 men in a boat, and he said that about to Cal, and you got the flashback where he figures out that it's that, and then he tries to access the tablet, and it doesn't work. So he uses his dad's hand, and guess what? That fucking works. Clean up your security. And what do you call it? Scanned the tablet and this, that, and the other, and he finds that they'd been killed off, and the recording. And Dad said to me when she was watching it, she was like, kind of, why would you keep a recording of yourself telling you to kill your team and the survivor? Now the question is, the survivor who survived, is it Xavier's wife? And did Billy kill her?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, what's Xavier's daughter doing with the fucking tablet? That's the question.
So the first thing is, we know how she got hold of it, because she was over there playing Wii with them. Yeah. Because she would sneak in there when they turn the cameras off, and they'd all play Wii together, which is fine. Yeah. So we know that's how she got in there. But yeah, your question is, it's like we didn't know who took the tablet. We now know who took the tablet. Now, did Billy take the tablet and give it to her? Did she take the tablet? Did the president give her the tablet? So it's great. We know who's got the tablet. But now we have the next question. Why was she given the tablet? It's the next one along the line. Yeah? Which is the bit. And you're going to need the father to unlock it so they can get all the fucking details out of it.
I mean, the bit where Cal sits down just before he goes off the rails and his father, says, it was all me doing it. Then he has that same conversation with the grandson. He says, I knew what you were asking me then. That was heartbreaking, that bit. That was genuinely like, oh, come on.
It was heartbreaking twice over. Yeah. It really was, because it was the two things. One, the kid just lost his father, and he's just heard a conversation from the past, and now he's having to pretend to his grandfather, who's got dementia, that he doesn't realise his son's dead, doesn't realise he's not his father and whatnot. And then, yeah. And the grandfather's very, how can I put it? He's not very happy with Presley. I can't remember what he called her. It wasn't like racist or anything. But it was mean. So he's got an axe to grind with her for a reason. But why? Again.
Well, they're very good at giving us answers. So, I mean, that's the one thing I appreciate about this. But it follows up with another question, which is rather annoying. But look, it's good. It's good. It's a good format. We've kind of had the message in the sky kind of thing, which I thought was,
I love that, because Tanith was like, what is he doing? Because it's a big fake dome. He could write something up in the sky. But the question and this, that, and the other, yeah, it's good. Yeah. I am enjoying it. It is.
Yeah, I am as well.
It is. It's really good, and I can't wait for next week. I can't know what I'm going to get. I know I'm going to get an answer to something next week, which is great in comparison to something like Severance or We don't get those answers so readily. And and I know I'll get an answer, and then I'm going to get another question, because that's the way you should do it. We give you to the good TV shows: answer, question, answer, question, answer, more questions. Yeah, and it makes you, do you want to know the answer to all of this? Anyway, with that said and done, I think it's time we wrap this bastard up and put a bow on it. I'm just going to give Chuck wins the comment of the week. Thank you very much, Chuck. I really appreciate all the kind words and stuff that you do. And considering that your videos on YouTube win documentaries at the fucking Syracuse bloody film festival, yeah, I really appreciate that coming from you, considering, we get a few views here and there, but we do it because we enjoy it. And ever since we've mixed things up and got it the way we get, the way we want, I think it's really good, and we just do it because we enjoy it. And it would be nice to have more viewers, but we got you guys, and we really appreciate you guys, and it's really nice. So thank you for that. And for the people who listen to us on the podcast, we know that you are, when we talk about diverse, you are a real fucking diverse bunch. When I look at the stats for the podcast, I mean a real diverse bunch. Yeah, it's like we used to get lots of stuff from the States. We're now getting it from everywhere. I've got a listener. I think we've got one listener in bloody Tehran. In Tehran.
That's definitely not me.
Definitely not me. And no one's VPNing via Tehran. No one wants to VPN via Tehran. So if you're that person who's listened to us from Iran, thank you.
Hi.
We really appreciate that. We hope everything is fine in your day as well. It's mad to see that, but it's all good. And on that note, Keith.
Yes.
Say something witty and clever. Oh! I forgot. I've got the Twitch thing switched on. So Thrawn Kills to subscribe to us on Twitch. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I saw him in the comments. We have got a diverse bunch. I mean, we've even got gingers. See you later, night.
Gingers. And on that note, bye from me. Say it, Keith.
Bye from me too.